So far, our decision tree looks like this. That is, our decision tree only includes opinions. In this clip, we will add to the decision tree to include types of modifications or changes to the standard audit report without affecting the audit opinion. The audit opinion relates to whether or not the financial statements fairly presents the financial position of the entity. So only matters that affect fair presentation would have an impact on the audit opinion. However, there are other issues that would affect users' decision-making and are hence material, but do not necessarily affect fair presentation. Such issues would require the auditor to modify the audit report, that is, to change it from the standard unmodified report to draw users' attention to the material issue which would affect their decision-making, but which would not affect fair presentation and hence does not affect the audit opinion. ISA 706 deals with such issues. There are two types of modifications to the audit report without the opinion being modified. The first is referred to as an emphasis of matter, and the second is called an other matter paragraph. Both of these serve the same purpose, which is to draw users' attention to the material issue without modifying the opinion. However, deciding which one to use requires you to determine if the material issue has been sufficiently disclosed in the financial statements. If it has, then an emphasis of matter would be used. However, if the matter is not disclosed or not sufficiently disclosed, then an other matter paragraph would be used. Consider a situation where the Board of Directors passed a resolution to take over a major competitor in the next financial period. What type of modified report would be appropriate if management decided to not make any disclosures regarding this decision? The decision to take over a competitor would not affect fair presentation in the current year, and so an unmodified report would be issued. However, such an acquisition would be material since it would affect users' buying and selling decisions. Thus, the audit report would need to be modified to draw users' attention to this issue without modifying the opinion. Now we need to determine if sufficient disclosures were made in the financials. As there are no disclosures relating to this decision, we would need to include an other matter paragraph. Now consider a situation where the entity is facing a lawsuit for a significant amount of money. As the case is ongoing, the matter has not been recognized, but full disclosure about the case and the potential financial effect has been disclosed in the notes relating to contingent liabilities. The auditors are of the belief that this would affect users' decisions. What type of opinion and report would be appropriate in this instance? The lawsuit has been properly disclosed in accordance with the accounting standards, and so it does not affect fair presentation. Hence, an unqualified opinion would be appropriate. However, as the issue is likely to affect users' decision-making, it is considered material. Sufficient disclosures have been made in the notes to the financial statements, and so the appropriate modification to the audit report would be an emphasis of matter paragraph, which would draw users' attention to the specific note where disclosures are made without modifying the audit opinion.